But just so that we're clear on terminology, what is that? Is that 20 yards or more? Is there a yard?
No, everybody has a little different, 15 run, 20 pass. I'm a little bit tougher on it. Mine's always been a little bit less, 10 run, 15 pass for explosive plays. That's the one thing, if you're going to play great defense, you cannot give up explosive plays. That's the killer, those large yardage chunks. I've always felt like, okay, if they can get it down the field, put a 15-play drive together, great. More power to them. Let's see if we can do it twice. They'll make mistakes maybe, but we got to be. And the simple things too. Those where we, once again, you got missed tackles. Okay, you got bad angles. Those are the things that'll kill you. So maybe it sounds simple, but that's what it comes down to. Is a lot of fundamentals and doing the things the right way all the time.
Are those especially important against a team like Stanford that's very disciplined and
yeah, obviously they have a very good scheme, and that'll be a real challenge for our guys. And I'm certainly not making excuses for our players. Last week we had a lot of guys playing in different positions, first starts. There's always some growing pains that goes along with that. I've been through that before, understand it. Not sympathetic to it, but I do think that it's an opportunity for them to grow. They'll get better because a lot of these guys are his first chance to really get in there. Plus, new positions, not playing as fast as you'd like them to. Those things will happen just because they haven't gotten enough reps.
Coach Moore said it can be pretty difficult coaching defense in college with all the running quarterbacks and the spreads becoming popular. As a guy who spent his entire coaching life in college football, have you noticed any changes in offenses that you feel like?
Yeah, they do. I think they do it totally. It is. I think the running quarterback changed a lot of gap control, obviously. That extra guy that can run the ball is a lot different than in pro football where you don't see it as much, obviously, because that guy's worth about $10 million or more, and sure as heck don't want to get him hurt because you'll get fired. But that's a challenge a lot of times with the quarterback. They can keep the ball. Even our team, when Josh keeps it, you see how wide open he is at times because they don't expect him to keep the ball. So it is one of the things that goes into football. That extra guy, the extra quarterback that you have to account for changes a lot of the way you have to play defenses because of him and the abilities that he does have. And of course, the RPOs then present a problem because for linebackers, is a run or pass. What is it? Okay, he gets a read and now he's kind of hung out there and they put him in conflict and that's part of their plan.
Does that make you have to adjust your kind of system at all, or is it just kind of a day-to-day or week-to-week?
Week-to-week thing because we do see different offenses, week-to-week, different styles of offense, different ways they use the quarterback, different schemes, and obviously different passing attacks too that can all go into play and how you develop your game plan.
With Stanford's love of tight ends, how ready do you feel your linebackers and safeties are to cover those guys?
We're working on it today. I thought we had an excellent practice today. We spent a lot of time on the different things that they do up there. We know they've got good personnel and a lot of respect for Coach Shaw. Understand all the things that he does and got a heck of a running back and love. They've got good personnel, so it'll be a real challenge for our defense.
The way they will sometimes bring in, say, 3 tight ends and then split them out, how difficult is the matching in terms of personnel this week?
It's always a problem each and every week with the matchups that you're trying to get a hold of. Okay, obviously, they're going to try to get their matchups. We're going to have to counter with our matchups and see if we can hang in there. And I think with all the tight ends, it does create different sets of problems for especially your linebackers.
You guys good?
Coach Moore had talked yesterday about a specific play near the end of the first half, coming out of the timeout, the touchdown offense, where you didn't want to pressure, he wanted to call pressure. How does the process of play calling go about? Can you take us through sort of what that communication is like?
The head coach always has the last option.
Right.
And it's okay. It's interesting dynamics. It always is. Even all the years with Coach Paterno, there's different things that occur during the game. And sometimes if someone gets a feel, you have a feel. It's just you just work things out. There's no real magic to how there's a set way of doing it. Okay, Coach said he got to get after him. We did. Obviously, they made a heck of a throw and catch. I always give the opponent credit first because they did make an excellent throw and catch. So this is one of those things we work out. It's not a problem.
Generally, is it you're making all the calls from the booth, and then if he has something he wants to open?
Absolutely. If he wants to add something into it, he has it. Jim's had a great career as a defensive coordinator. He understands the things you're going through up there. So I'm not a guy. We're a team. It's all everybody's trying to. Everyone's trying to win. So I'm all about winning. I don't have an ego. Who makes a call? Who doesn't make a call? I just want to win for our players, and that's why we're here as coach.
How do you think Keyshawn Lucier-South did with playing off the line of scrimmage some snaps last game and kind of in the box?
You know, let's be honest with what we asked Keyshawn to do last week. He was a lot of everything. He was half a linebacker, half a defensive end. Sometimes actually, honest to goodness, he almost ended up looking like a strong safety out there. A lot of different lineups, a lot of different fits to do what he did in what amounted to be a day and a half of practice to get that right. I got to give him a lot of credit.
Thanks, Coach.